Welcome back to another class on Evean Hazaer Halacha series. We are in Siman Aleph in Halacha Yud in the Pitchi Teshuva in Od Tadvav. This will be part 12H. Today we're going to see in the Pitchi Teshuva 2 lines, maybe inside 3 lines, but there's a lot more depth that goes into it. So I'll just read it for you now, and then I'm going to have to go ahead and explain in order for us to better understand what the Pitchi Teshuva is saying. So the Pitchi Teshuva begins, Ubezeh murvach, and with this we gain, or from this we gain, Delo kasha kushed hachacham tzvi Siman kuf tetzayin. It is no longer a question that the Chacham Tzvi posed in Siman kuf tetzayin, mehacha Siman kuf nuntet sivhei behaga. Chacham Tzvi in Siman kuf tetzayin had a question that he posed which was bothering him from our case in Siman Aleph in Halacha Yud to Siman Kuf Nuntet Sivhei in the Hagam. That we have 2 Ramaz that are contradictory. That was his difficulty. Comes the Pitchi Teshuva, he says, and with this we gain insight, we gain understanding that really his question is not a question. Why should zikah, which is only from the rabbis, be better from an arusa, which is from the Torah? That's all it is. Now we're learning Pitchi Teshuva. It's not a regular class. A lot of depth, a lot of knowledge is in these 2 or 3 lines. I want to explain to you like this. The Chacham Tzvi in Siman Kuf Tetzayin in his Sefer, the Chacham Tzvi in Siman Kuf Tetzayin in his Sefer, he had a question on the Shulchan Aruch in Siman Aleph what the Rama says, to Siman Kuf Nun Tet what the Rama says in Halacha Hey. I'll read it for you guys. We're going to see over here, what is he really bothered? He says, I don't understand. How could zikah, which is only from the rabbis, be better or stronger than an arusa, which is from the Torah? Now, what is a zikah? Okay, let me just tell you now, and then you guys will know it. Let's say like this. Let's say in this particular case, Reuven, he's single. He has a brother by the name of Shimon. Shimon is married to Sarah. If you ever guys do Masechet Yevamot, always remember to draw everything out, and that only makes things easier, because otherwise it'll be very hard to keep everything in your mind and trying to understand what the Gemara is saying. Because all this comes from Yevamot, by the way. So Reuven has a brother by the name of Shimon. Shimon is married to Sarah. Shimon dies, and they have no children. So the law says that Sarah falls to Reuven. Now, what is this called? This is called zikah. Zikah literally means, number 1, I can translate it in English. Either she's bound to him. That's one way of understanding. Number 2, I can say she is in need of him. Why is she in need of him? Because she is, if I can quote unquote say it, as a married woman. That means, if Reuven does not give her a chalitza, which is when she takes off his shoes and she spits inside his shoes, she's not going to be free. Or what he has to do, he has to go ahead and he has to do yibum, he has to get married. Otherwise she's stuck. So why is this word very important, zikah, which is from the rabbis? Sarah, when she falls to Reuven, if Reuven does not give her chalitza, or he does not do yibum, meaning he does not marry her, we're going to tell you, Sarah, you're stuck. So if you can understand this case, watch this. Reuven is married to Leah. I don't know, Leah said something to Reuven, she upsetted him. So he left. He's alive, but he left. He ran away from Leah. He never gives her a get. He never gives her the divorce papers. Now she comes out to be an aguna, which means she could never ever get married because she doesn't have her divorce papers. This case over here with Leah, when she did not receive her get, is a similar case with Sarah when she does not receive her chalitza. So that's why this word zikah means either she's bound to him, or either she's in need of him, meaning without him, she's stuck. So she technically also becomes an aguna. We'll stay with the word bound just to make things easier, but understand whenever I say zikah, this is the scenario. To come back to our case, comes the Chacham Tzvi. The Chacham Tzvi is very bothered. He says, I don't understand. I'm going to read for you the language over here, and I'm going to go back and do the Shulchan Aruch with you also in Siman Kuf Nun Tet. Comes the Shulchan Aruch and he says, I don't understand. We learned in the Shulchan Aruch Siman Aleph in Halacha Yud that the Ramah said that the Cherem Rabbeinu Gershom is not applicable. When is it not applicable? Im eino rotzeh liknos ela liftor. That's when he does not want to marry her, but rather he wants to divorce her. The Cherem Rabbeinu Gershom is not applicable. So if the Cherem Rabbeinu Gershom is not applicable since he wants to divorce her, comes out over here that this case is speaking about an arusa. Comes out over here that this guy is able to go ahead and marry another woman while still having the arusa. And that is a problem, as we'll see. So remember, in the arusa, watch this. Let's say you have an arus, right? Rabotai, an arus, let's say Shimon is married to Leah, right? They did the first stage of Kiddushin. So this arus says, you know something, I'm not really fond of you. I want to go with another woman. So comes the Ramah, the Ramah says, 1 second. Shimon, you don't like Leah? Fine, I can't force you. You want a divorce? Of course I want a divorce. Why would I want to keep her here? So he says, good, go marry another woman. Since you want a divorce, eventually go and divorce her. This is the way we understand in the Ramah in the simplest way. Because remember, there's many understandings we're understanding, but I'm going right now with the question what the Chacham Tzvi has from this Ramah in Siman Kuf Nun Tet in that Ramah. In Siman Kuf Nun Tet comes the Ramah in Halacha and he says, Im nafla lechad shomeret yavam. There were two brothers. If one of the brothers, Lo Aleinu Chas Shalom, died, like I explained to you the case, and she falls to the other brother, like I gave you this case over here, Reuven and Shimon, let's say he had Sarah, he died, she falls to him. Asur lisa acheret ad sheyachlot et yivamto. It is forbidden for the brother to marry another girl until he's going to give the yivama, until he's going to give his yivama a chalitza. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. We started saying earlier that Reuven is a single brother, meaning he's not married. Let's do it like this. Reuven is not married. He has a name, he has a brother by the name of Shimon. He's married to Sarah. Shimon dies, Sarah falls to Reuven. Now she's bound to him, zikah, which we explained that this zikah, this bound, is only from the rabbis. What happens? Reuven falls in love with another girl by the name of Leah. Comes the Ramah over there, and the Ramah says, 1 second. Reuven, before you want to marry Leah, give Sarah her chalitza, which is the same thing like a divorce, but a different type of divorce. Right? By the divorce, he has to give her papers, a document. Over here, he has to take off his shoes. But they both mean the same thing because they both, by the divorce, you let the woman go. By chalitza, you also let the woman go. Fine. Comes the Ramah is going to say, Reuven, before you marry Leah, you have to give Sarah chalitza. Comes out over here, we have another problem. Before I do this, let me just show you over here. If you can recall, we had a whole deal. We spoke about the Cherem Rabbeinu Gershom. Rabbeinu Gershom, he had two cherems that he made. Number one was Shelo Lisa Shtei Nashim, that one is not allowed to marry two women. Number two is Shelo Ligaresh et Ishto Ba'al Korcha. You're not allowed to go ahead and divorce your wife against her will. These two cherems are Rabbeinu Gershom. We saw in the previous classes. Right now, the way the Chacham Tzvi is asking the question, he's understanding that whenever over here the Ramah says, Im ein rotzeh liktot ela leftor, he's understand that is the Cherem of Rabbeinu Gershom, the first one that you're not allowed to have two wives. So let's go back over here. So watch this. I want to show you two cases. If we're going to have in Siman Aleph, in Halacha Aleph, yeah, let's do this. So let's just do this. Let me just put lay over here, just to make, I need the space. Okay. In Siman Aleph, in Halacha Yud, the Ramah said that if you have the guy, let's say the Arus, is married to the Arusa, where their bond is from the Torah, where their bond is from the Torah, comes the Ramah and he says, Arus, you found another girl? No problem. You want to divorce her? Yeah, I want to divorce her. Go ahead, marry her. So he tells you here by the marriage case, he says you're allowed to go and marry her. By the case of the Torah. In Siman Kuf Nun Tet, in this case, what is the Ramah is going to say as we'll see it? Reuven, since Sarah fell to you, so technically you have to marry her. But the Ramah is going to tell you have to do chalitza. But now Reuven, you fell in love with Leah, and you want to marry Leah? No. You can't do that. You know why? Because you still did not let her go. You have to do chalitza. So over here he wants to learn that for Reuven it's asur to marry Sarah. No. For Reuven it's asur to marry Leah. First he has to give the chalitza, then he's allowed to go ahead and get married. So 1 second, let's get this right. By the arus, when he has an arusa, which is from the Torah, the Ramah says mutar, right? The Ramah says mutar. He's allowed to go ahead and marry another woman. That's the way Ramah says. By the Yivama, which is the Zika case, which is only from the rabbis, the Ramah says asur, right? Right here, asur. Let's just put in blue so we can see the difference. Always make color coordination. It allows you to learn Torah much better. Okay. So basically this is the question. You, the Ramah in Siman Aleph and Halacha Yud said that an arus and arusa, which is from the Torah, because she did the kiddush from the Torah. And you're telling me he's allowed to marry another woman without first getting rid of her. And by the case of the zikah with the yivama in Siman Kuf Nun Tet, you tell me Reuven is not allowed to marry Leah. It's asur until he gives a chalitza to Sarah. 1 second. Comes the Pitchit Tshuva and he says, this is what's bothering the Chacham Tzvi. He says, I don't understand. How can the Rabbanan case be better than the rabbi's case? No. How can the Rabbanan case, which is from the rabbis, be better than the Torah case? How is it possible by the rabbinical case with the zikah, you're telling me it's asur, it's only the Rabbanan, and you tell me it's asur for him to get another woman. But by a Doraita case, from the Torah case, the Arusa, you tell me it's mutar? If by the Dirabanan it's asur, how much more so it should be asur by the Doraita case? You guys hear the question? So one more time. The Chacham Tzvi in Siman Kuf Tet Zayin asks a question from Halacha Aleph to Halacha Kuf Nun Tet. How can you, the Rama, say by the case of the Arusa, which is from the Torah, you're telling me that he's allowed to go ahead and get married to another woman, even though he has an Arusa? And in the case of Kuf Nun Tet and Halacha, hey, you, the Rama, are telling me where the whole zikah only from the rabbis. This case, you're telling me he's not allowed to get married. He's not even married, the poor guy. It's a yivama. It's a zivamto. She was married to Shimon. She fell against his will. And you're telling me, Rama, he's not allowed to take another girl until he divorces Sarah, meaning until he does the chalitza? How does that make sense? If by the rabbinical case it's asur, how much more so it should be asur also by the Torah case to go ahead and get another woman?